think we all know that crochet is more than just a relaxing hobby. But did you know that it can be a powerful tool for good? Especially if you're a crocheter who puts away their hooks in the summer, I want you to stick around today because I'm going to try to convince you that summertime is the perfect time to crochet for charity. And once I convince you of that, I'm going to give you some tips on how to get started. Hello, and welcome to Blah Blah Black Sheep, a weekly yarny podcast where I, Sarah Korth of SEK Handmade, talk all things yarny, and today we're talking crocheting for charity. So let's start off with 5 reasons that summer is the perfect time to crochet for charity. Reason number 1 that summertime is the perfect time to crochet for charity is that nobody in your life needs something warm and cozy. When the weather is warm outside, you aren't crocheting hats and mittens and scarves for your own family members, so it's the perfect time to work on those items and give them away. While people in your community probably don't need cold weather clothes in the summertime either, it's a great opportunity while you have the time to go ahead and make some of those cozy items and donate them to charity now so that they'll have them on hand right away when the weather turns in the fall. Especially if you're a person who has a favorite crochet item and it's something like hats or mittens or scarves or cowls, this is a great time to keep going on that item that you love to make and still have a really great place for it to go. Reason number 2 that summer is a great time to crochet for charity is that it's an opportunity to use up some of your leftover yarn. While this isn't necessarily a summer specific reason, I do find that in the summer I get another little bug to kind of clean out some things in my house. While you may not find a scrappy cowl or scarf or hat something that you would love to wear, it could absolutely be appreciated by someone else. You can add stripes to a project. You can marrow yarns by holding them together. There are lots of great ways to use up large amounts of your leftovers or stash that you might not want to keep for yourself anymore and donate them to charity. The other thing is there are lots of great opportunities to make small things where you don't need huge amounts of yarn to donate to these charities. Baby hats are a great example. Knitted Knockers is a charity that has crochet along with it too. Both of those use up very small amounts of yarn and could be a great way to make a really gorgeous item that people can use. And you get to clear out a little bit of your stash, which I would argue means you can buy more yarn. Reason number 3 that crocheting for charity is perfect for summer is that you can make lots of small projects to donate for charity, and they're super portable. I don't know about you, but I am always going in the summer, whether it's going out to visit friends, going out to parks with my kids, or just traveling with my family. I always love to bring projects with me no matter where I'm going, and having a small project I find is the best way to travel with yarn. So go ahead and pull out some of your favorite hat patterns, grab some yarn from your stash, get a project bag that you can even just keep in the car for whenever you're sitting and waiting, and you could make up a whole bunch of really lovely things to donate to charity. Reason number 4 that summer's a great time to crochet for charity is that summer is a great time to learn new things. A lot of times summer can have a bit of a slower pace, and that lends itself to opportunities to learn new things. Sometimes when we learn new things, our first projects can turn out a little less than perfect. The great news is that when you donate those things to charity, people don't mind small imperfections. They'll appreciate the handmade nature of the hat and that it keeps them cozy, even if some of the stitches are just a little wonky. My final reason that summer is the perfect time to crochet for charity is that it's a great time to get everyone involved. Kids are home for the summer, and whether they're your children or the neighbor's children, some kids from a local group or school or even your church, it's a great time to get people involved. We might be visiting family members, so people you might not see or be really close to. Maybe you could all commit to making a few items for charity. You'll collect them and donate them somewhere within your community that really needs them. Having a group of people that you can work with together on a charity project just makes it all that much more special. Do keep in mind that even if you can't connect with people locally or you don't have family members that would want to craft with you in this manner, there are lots of online communities, so don't forget about those. All right, I hope I've encouraged you to want to crochet for charity this summer. So let's talk about how we can get started. The first thing to do is to decide on a cause. That can be something that you choose yourself, or it can be something where you seek out a greater organization to help you choose somewhere to donate. There are all sorts of national and international organizations that you can join in on their charitable cause, or there are probably lots of places locally that you could seek out to make donations to. Next week, I'm going to give you lots of suggestions of where you can donate and causes that you can get involved in, so be sure you come back next week for that video. After you've found a cause you want to join in on, you need to go ahead and check guidelines. Whether this is a larger charity where you can just go on their website and find out what their guidelines are, or have a more in-depth conversation with someone you've reached out to locally, it's important to make sure that you meet their needs so that what you're donating is something that they can really use. Another thing you need to do to get started is figure out where these places are located. Some organizations have national or international chapters. You may find one that's local to you, or you may find one that is a little bit further away. This is important because it may affect how much time, energy, and cost goes into actually donating your items. If a place is local, it can be as easy as driving somewhere close by and dropping off your items to a caregiver or an organizer of the organization. But if you go with a greater charity that is nationwide, you may need to box up your stuff and ship it off, which is going to result in a little extra cost on your end. And that's just something you're really going to want to be aware of, because you don't want to be surprised by that cost, time, and energy at the end after making a bunch of stuff. Another thing to consider as you get started is, again, seeking out community. Whether this is a community that you create at a local community center, at a church, or at another local organization, or that you just find and join in, you don't necessarily have to create it yourself. Or if it's some greater online community, Facebook is a great place to check for these groups. It's always fun and encouraging to have some community around your crocheting for charity. And don't just limit yourself to crochet groups. There are plenty of knitting groups that welcome crocheters, or stitch groups that are open for all sorts of yarn crafters who want to work together for a good cause. After you found your community and made your items, you're going to need to get it where it needs to go. As I said before, this could be as easy as driving it somewhere. What a great way to support the community who crafts for charity by being a person who offers together your community's things and deliver them. The other thing is, as we talked about shipping, that can maybe be a little bit of a cost. So if you gather together several people and you combine the cost and share the cost of shipping that stuff off, that can really be a great way to spread that cost out a little bit. I hope all of this has encouraged you to keep your crochet hooks out this summer and maybe spend at least some of your time crocheting for charity. Today, I'm wearing my Dylan shawl. This was one of my vacation shawls. It's a long, slender shawl, lots of great ways to wear it, and it only takes one skein of yarn to make. I used Euphoria Knits for my yarn. It was actually a skein of yarn that I picked up on vacation, and it was so fun to use it in one of my vacation shawls. My earrings that I'm wearing are by Fiddle and Grace. These are nice, lightweight wooden earrings, and they're perfect to wear in the summer. Two really quick announcements. Last week I told you that my Taos shawl was coming out, my this year vacation shawl, and it just didn't happen. I apologize. It was a physically demanding week for me, and I just couldn't power through and get it done. So it will be releasing tomorrow. Also, if you watched last week's episode, it was all about great tops for summer, and I have started on 2. I have made my swatches, and my first swatch here is for my flow top. This is, backwards. It's backwards. This is my swatch. I love the texture. So far, I think the pattern has been easy to follow, and so I cannot wait. I met Gage. Took a few tries, but I met Gage, and so you can be looking for more progress on this soon, hopefully, and eventually a pattern review. I also told you last week that I was debating changing the top that I was going to make with this yarn, and I've decided to go ahead and make a change. So I'm going to make the Key Largo top out of this yarn. It's a really fun lacy pattern, and I've got it in my brain how everything's going to work. So I think this is the one I'm going to dive in with first. Thank you so much for joining me today. Links to all the things, yarn that I talked about, earrings that I talked about, patterns that I talked about. It's all going to be in the show notes below. Just click the more and you don't have to go hunt anything down. I would love it if this video has inspired you, that you would like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and maybe even share it with a friend who might like to join you in your crafty charity pursuits. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you back here next week, and until then, happy crafting!